YouTube? Geo here. Phew, it's Sunday. My off day today from being out in the field. So I got office work to take care of and some inventory and part stuff. Right now I'm on my way to go spend some time with the kids. Yeah, so one of the things I want to share with you guys today is I had a customer that back in January, December last year, late December, because the job I didn't get the part and install it till around the 3rd of January. So right around December the 27th, I believe, the customer called me. He had a GE refrigerator, French door, bottom freezer, and he had an issue where no lights was on the dispenser. So I went ahead, did a diagnostic. I tested from the main board, and I noticed that the dispenser assembly was getting voltage. Um, it was getting 14 and 7 volts from the main control board going to the dispenser. So I know that the dispenser assembly was defective. It was getting power and it wasn't lighting up, non-responsive at all. So I went ahead and gave him an estimate for the replacement of the the dispenser control board assembly, which he agreed to, and I went ahead and installed the part. Now, yesterday I got a call back from the customer. This is like 6 months later now, because it's been a while since I installed it. And he says that his refrigerator, the exact same issue again. And, he was explaining how he have a 2-year warranty on it and he hoped that it's all covered and he's not expecting to pay again for it because it's the exact same problem has he had before. And he was saying he paid how much money to fix this problem and now it went out again and he opened that it's under warranty and so forth. I'm like, sir, just calm down. I'm gonna come out, it's no charge, we're gonna take a look and see what's going on, with the refrigerator. What's the issue is why the control board is just non-responsive, no lights, why it went effective again. So, in my head, I'm thinking like, man, this is a brand new user interface assembly for this GE refrigerator. The unit isn't that old. I think it was built in 2017. And I was like, my goodness, the Spencer went out again. He's like, no power. I'm thinking like, man, I can't believe the board went out. I just bought the board, installed it. I think I paid almost 200 something dollars. I forgot how much I paid for the board. But I know it was a little pricey. That whole dispenser assembly, that's right in the front of the fridge. And I was like, man, I hope that board ain't went out again because, then I'm going to have to spend like, fork up the money again to buy the board. And customer was like, yeah, it's the exact same issue like he had before. So I was like, oh man, I scheduled the appointment and I went over there and take a look. First thing I noticed was, as the customer say, the dispenser assembly, no light, no functions, nothing. So I pulled the fridge out and I went to the back where they have the main control board, and I looked at the wiring diagram. But on this wiring diagram, it doesn't tell you like which. You see the connector running to the user interface, but it doesn't give you like the voltage breakdown. Like it doesn't tell you which wire is ground, which is positive, which is negative. Like what voltage you're supposed to expect from which point to which point. So the way I do that is I know that one of those pin is ground, and you know there have to be voltage coming out of the main board somewhere. So I will put like one of my leads on one pin, and the other lead I will keep changing from pin to pin to pin to pin to kind of see if I'm getting any voltage, and if I get nothing there, I would change the pin of my first lead, and then start checking the other pin with my other lead, um, until I see which pins I'm getting voltage from, and then until I find out which pin is ground. So I did that, and I found out that, I found which pin was ground. I also found which pin was the 14-volt pin, which pin is the the 5-volt pin. So that's one way that you guys can kind of figure out if a user interface assembly is getting power, getting voltage or not. Kind of figure out which pin is which pin. If Because most diagram will show the wiring going to the user interface, but it won't necessarily give you a breakdown like, pin 1 to pin 2 for, 14-volt, 12-volt, 5-volt, whatever. It won't necessarily give you that breakdown, but you will have to kind of find that out by, putting one of your lead on one pin and kind of go from pin to pin to kind of figure out, um, which pin is which pin, what is what. So I did that, and when I went back to the job to kind of figure out what the issue was, and I realized that the board is getting voltage again, and lo and behold, the brand new board that I installed 6 months ago, is defective again. And I'm like, oh man, I can't believe it. The same thing as the first time, board is getting voltage, and user interface is getting voltage, and not lighting up, not responsive. So I went ahead and I was like, man, I gotta pull this user interface off the front of the refrigerator to kind of see what's going on. I was like, man, I was like, wow, I gotta spend another 200 and something dollars for this board again, because I have it under warranty for 2 years to fix the refrigerator. So I'm trying to find out why this board went out again. What's going on. So I went ahead, pulled the user interface assembly off, and flip it over, take a look at it. I didn't see anything. And then I was like, man, I want to pull the board out of the actual assembly, case. And I went ahead and, there was 4 torque screws that I had to remove and pulled that board out. And as soon as I lifted over and kind of look at it, uh, first thing I saw was like 2 roaches. It was like they were just gunning for the exit. I was like, oh my goodness, I was like, wow. And then I flipped the board over, and you could see all the poop and everything on the board, and stuff like that. And you could actually see where on the board that it was shorted out from. And this was all a cause of, the rodents, the roaches that was all up on the user interface board. They're starting to live there. They were peeing and pooping everywhere, and that's exactly what shorted out the board. So I pull it off and I show the customer. It still had one of the roaches there. He was just trying to find his way out for an exit, and I showed him. I was like, sir, that is your problem. Look at that. Can you look at that? Look at that right there. He was like, what's the issue? I was like, the roach caused the board to went out again. I was like, it's due to the infestation. So I was like, I show him where it burned out from. I show him all the poop and pee on the control board, and I say, sir, in this case, it didn't go out because of normal causes. It went out because of the infestation, the roaches. So this board is gonna cost you the same as it cost you before to get it repaired. Whatever it cost you before, I say it's the exact same part cost and installation. I told him, I do recommend that you kind of get this issue remedy first, before I come back and install the new board. And that wasn't a cheap board, and he was just feeling a little bad because of how he was at first, when he first called us back, because he was having an issue with the fridge. He was just so demanding, and he was a little bit arrogant. He was like, you guys just did this. I paid all this money for this, repaired, and it went out again, and I hope it's under warranty because you know, we are on a fixed income, and we're not expecting to pay again because it's the exact same issue as before. Now, I've heard that from so many customers, from time and time again. They will call and they will be like, "Oh yeah, the appliance ain't working. It's the exact same issue that I had before, and it's not working. And I spent all this money, and I hope it's under warranty." And I go out there, and it would be like something completely different. The only thing is the same is the appliance wasn't working when I got there, and it stopped working again. That's the only thing is the same. But they'll be calling and was like, "Man, yeah." But this customer with the refrigerator was like, "Yeah, my goodness, that was not good at all." He was pretty surprised that that was the cause, um, for the board to go out. Now I didn't see any sign of roaches or anything when I replaced the board the first time. He called us. It looks like the first time it just went out because of the part just went defective, and this time the board went out because of the roach got all up in the control and poo and pee all over it, and completely took the board out. So, that's something that you guys always have to kind of look for when you guys out there. If you guys work in an appliance and you guys see signs that there's infestation on the board, like roach poo or rat poo or whatever is all over the board, and the appliance isn't functioning properly, um, most likely that could be the cause of it. So always try to pay very, very good detail to that. Always be on the lookout for that. You know what I'm saying? If the appliance or the home that you're working in, if you go in there, you notice it's a mess, and if you notice roach or rat poo or whatever over, all throughout the kitchen or whatever appliance you guys working on, when you guys open it up, and if the appliance isn't working properly, when you guys get there and you guys notice all of this stuff, you open up the machine and you guys, look in the back of the fridge or under the stove, or, take the panel off the appliance, and you guys notice that there is any kind of, infestation or anything, um, you guys got to be very cautious about that, because you guys may go there and repair something else on the unit or something else on the appliance that's actually, was broken at the same time, or was broken. Say, for instance, it's a dishwasher and a drain pump. You went there, the drain pump is broken, but while you replacing the drain pump, you notice that on the control board and stuff, it's just all infested with roaches. Now you go ahead and you'll replace that drain pump, and probably a couple weeks later, the customer call you and be like, "Hey, it's not working again. The dishwasher isn't working again. They got the same problem like they did the last time." Now you go back out there and you be like, "Oh yeah, man, the drain pump is good. Now it's the actual board." They'll be looking at you like, "Man, it's the same problem." They'll be trying to say that it's the same problem as it did before. In a sense, they're right. The dishwasher wasn't working before, and now it still ain't working. Um, but they wouldn't be too happy with you. They wouldn't be a happy customer having to pay to repair a control board after a couple weeks later or days earlier, a couple weeks earlier or days earlier, they just paid you to come out and repair the drain pump. So when you see stuff like this, it's very vital that you really kind of communicate with the customer and kind of let them know, because if not, you're going to find yourself in a little bit of hot water. You're going to end up with an angry customer, probably going blasting, putting bad reviews on you everywhere. So when I see stuff like this, I kind of just let the customer know. If I see infestation on the board or whatever I'm doing, I just kind of try to be honest and let the customer know, "Hey, man, this is this, and I can. This is what I can replace now and it will work, but I can't guarantee the board is infested. I mean, you may have a problem. You know, you got to be upfront with them. If even if you get them to sign a waiver, that's even better, because they tend to forget. They tend to forget after a while. Yeah, so very important to kind of keep an eye out for it and look out for. This customer now for the refrigerator, he done paid a couple $100 for me to go out and change the board and get that done, and now he's looking at paying another couple $100 to do it all over again just to calm the roach and infestation. And I have my system set up where I have that in writing. If I give a 2-year warranty on everything I do, but if the defect reoccur again or the part I install is defective because of misuse or in cases like this, I make sure I have that all in writing, um, and that the customer see that, I have it all in writing and send out to the customer. It's on all my invoices and estimate. So you guys really have to kind of have things and have it structured in a way where you guys have some type of some kind of protection and stuff, for issues like this that is going to arise. So absolutely. But anyway, good chatting with you guys. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit up the subscribe button, and tick that little notification bell. Thank you guys for watching. Geo out.